As of both teams, some have brought their dogs out. They might be female dogs, but generally they've brought their mums out on the pitch, and sisters as well as their clapped, and aunts as well, and grandmothers, and they're clapped off the pitch now. It's a terrific moment and a terrific initiative by Football Federation Victoria. There was just one dog that came out there. I presume she's a female out there with one of the mums of the players as we get ready for this match. Box Hill have won 5, lost 6, and Bayside have won 3, lost 7 and drawn 1. Their most impressive performance against Alamein a few weeks ago, while Box Hill, who are still in the Nike Cup competition, had a great win against Alamein in the 4th round, and then lost to one of the bottom 4 sides, Geelong Galaxy, last week, while Bayside have been so good for the previous few weeks. South Melbourne, a good effort, losing 3-2. We mentioned the Alamein match where Alamein only snatched the equaliser in the dying stages. They were beaten by the second bottom team, Senior NTC, last week, 5-3. So they've got some work to do. And both teams have leaked a few goals. Box Hill 32 and they've scored 30. Leaked the third most number of goals in the comp, way behind Southern and also the second bottom team, Senior NTC. Southern without a win, while Bayside have scored 25, conceded 28. But an interesting game coming up today as Box Hill look to square the ledger at 6-6 and Bayside search for their 4th win, which would be a long time coming for them. The starting lineups for Box Hill: Bethany Mason-Jones, their goalkeeper, back. They had the 17-year-old goalkeeper in for a week in Gabriella Egerton. She also was a star in that Nike Cup match where she actually was able to keep a clean sheet to allow her team to win that match against Alamein. Olivia Ellis, Emily Hubbard, who scored 10 goals this year. Grace Norbury, Safri Lyons, the captain, their English import, who scored 9 goals. Elena Vatke, Natasha Darkic, Mia Lantieri. Also in the starting lineup is Hayley Gertz and Maya Markovsky, one of the good young players. While for Bayside, their starting lineup is Kadashi, Sarah Walsh, Kirsty Shearing, Sienna Fogarty, and also Jessica Au, along with Laura Faruga as we start here, the goalkeeper, Savannah Anastopoulos, Emily Harbis, Lucy Richards, Margot Rabin is straight away an opportunity to go forward by Bayside, by Kirsty Shearing, but she puts it over the byline as they attack the scoreboard end here at Wembley Park. Zoe Austin also on the starting lineup, and Natasha Belville for Bayside wearing orange. Lyons gets it back to try and set up defence for her team. The captain, originally from Bristol City, her 4th club in this competition. It will be a Box Hill ball taken by Hayley Gertz. Goes down the line, headed away by Shearing. She didn't quite know where that was. The tall figure of Maya Markovsky tries to control it. One of the teenagers in this Box Hill team. Down the line again, trying to get boot on ball, was Olivia Ellis, who's played some football for Melbourne City. In fact, Emily Hubbard, I should say, the American, who now resides here in Australia. And at the back, Sienna Fogarty tried to get it to Natasha Belville, and it goes over the sideline in front of the grandstand in our commentary position. So back into play for Hayley Gertz as Bayside have sagged back. Good throw down the line. Hubbard again, who, as we've mentioned, has been pretty good this year. She scored 10 goals in 7 matches. 4 of them came in the rout of Southern, one of 2 matches where they've managed to keep a clean sheet. As Safri Lyons, the captain, will have the first corner kick of the match. Nice ball to the top of the penalty area, headed away though by Bayside. Coming back again from Box Hill. Getting a big boot on that was Mia Lantieri, but comfortably taken by the impressive goalkeeper for Bayside in Lauren Fariga, who will boot it long. She's taken over as the number 1 goalkeeper about a month or so ago. It's headed down, though, in the defensive half by Mia Lantieri. One on this occasion by Bayside. It'll get close to the line. It's kept alive at halfway. Good play by Anastopoulos. Getting a little touch on it was Margot Rabin. Just inside the attacking half for Bayside. Controlled now by Hubbard, who looks good on the ball. Gets it to Kaka, the Japanese import for Box Hill. And then down to Darkik, who spent some time at Southern United, was captain as well. Down the right-hand side, and Lantieri tried to control it, couldn't control it. Free kick will go the way of Box Hill, right in front of the coach's box there. Free kick as Vatke was taken down. Elena Vatke, and she's limping in the opening couple of minutes. And Kaka will take it just inside the defensive half. Loops it long, not far from the area. Headed down by Bayside, headed on by Hubbard. It's footed away by Fogarty of Bayside. Again, getting ahead on it, Markovski. Down to the Clever Lions, who when they last met these two teams back in round 2, they won 6-1 Box Hill. And Safri Lions, the captain, scored 4 times. She has 9 for the season. And she'll receive now on the far side, the throw. And again, it's off Bayside, just on the edge of the area, looking to control a Kaka. She couldn't. She had a couple of opponents around her. Cleared by Bayside towards the middle of the park, but they've set up a wall at halfway Box Hill through Markovski. She spreads it with Olivia Alice. Now comes down the left-hand side and taken by Hayley Gertz, but she had it turned over by Jessica Au. But getting it back again for Box Hill was Norbury, one of the youngsters in this team. A turnover now at halfway and an opportunity to try and do something, but not able to. Bayside. And Runnels almost had it turned over. So bring it down the left-hand side now, Bayside. Looking to attack to the scoreboard end. Owl right on halfway. But in the road, Kaka at the back for Box Hill. They'll go back and they'll look to set it up again through their goalkeeper, Beth Mason-Jones. Gertz. Turnover against Hubbard in midfield. Shearing. And now the Clever Rabin for Bayside. Down the left-hand side. Here's a chance for her best. She comes inside the penalty area, but then they've got numbers at the back, Box Hill, and they clear. Markowski comes and beats her opponent comprehensively. Turns her inside out. It's Lucy Richards, who was probably a bit hesitant. Markowski, a taller figure, was proactive. Takes on Richards now. Down the right-hand side, but has it turned over in defence. Good support for Richards on that occasion, as she got well beaten. Now she gets an opportunity to try and set something up with Harbiz. Harbiz's pass into the middle of the field is into no man's land, and Olivia Alice pounces for Box Hill. Goes down the right-hand side, but her pass had too much on it, and diving into it, Farija inside the penalty area. No scorers yet. Opening 6 minutes here at Wembley Park. Turnover, though, at halfway against the goal kick from Farija. Getting a header on at lines for Box Hill. Controlled by Al, still inside the defensive half. She lost it, wins it back against Markovski. Jessica Au, who's training to be a doctor and has had some experience with Melbourne Victory, recruited as a teenager. Turnover, though, at halfway. Gertz involved and then taken comfortably by Anastopoulos for Bayside. Back to Shearing, back to Anastopoulos inside the attacking half. Hustling and bustling with Gertz, good contest. Then she loses control. But at the back, Fogarty there to mop up. They get it down the line now, Bayside. Plenty of distance on the kick. But at the back, Alice is there once more. Lines, loses control. Had a pocket pinch by Anastopoulos. Just outside the area. Turnover again by a charging Box Hill. This is Darkik. Darkik's a good defender. And then she gets it to a teammate in Norbury. Norbury goes down the right-hand side. Running hard. Box Hill just outside the area. Nice squaring, centering ball to the top of the 10-yard box, but well taken by Farrugia, as that was a good effort by Box Hill to set up a move, but Farrugia was right in the heart of the box to ensure no damage was done against Bayside on that occasion. It's a lovely run down the right-hand side by the team in blue, Box Hill, with the white stripes, as it's headed away from the throw-in from Belleville. And now it's taken by Runnels. And then Shearing almost turns it over at the back. Good defence by Box Hill. Involved is Vatke, who was involved in that magnificent run down the right-hand side before with the centering ball, which was stopped by Farisia. And then this talented youngster, Markowski, gets it inside the attacking half. Hubbard had a couple to beat, as did Lyons. Turned over to Al. Al now to Runnels. Back to Al. Al pushes wide to Belleville. Al again. Couple of opponents around her. She's clever on the ball. Jessica Al, the doctor. Dr. Al gets a through ball now towards the skipper, but Rabin couldn't control it, and then defensively pushed back by Box Hill and set up again by the goalkeeper in Jones. She heads down the right-hand side. Markowski's a tall figure. Bounces off opponents. Out now to Vatke in the red boots. Gets it towards the centre-back position. And they look good at the back through Darkick. Darkick now to a teammate in Alice, who goes down the left-hand side and finds Gertz. But Gertz has it turned over by strong defence Bayside inside their defensive half. Headed by Fogarty. But pinched by Kakar of Box Hill. Having more possession at the moment, the home team. And now in possession down the right-hand side, looking for a way through Lantieri. She also has it turned over. Rabin at halfway. Back to Al. Al back to Rabin. Keeping her honest as Lyons. Poor pass by Rabin. Turned over by Box Hill's Lantieri. And now Lyons again. Clever player. The English woman. Out now to Alice. As we mentioned, some time at Melbourne City in the W League. Down the left-hand side. Right on the sideline. Finds a teammate who goes back to her. Gertz. And then Lyons again. And then at flat footer was Norbury, allowing a teammate Belleville to beat her. And then it goes over the sideline as two defenders come across. Norbury got support then from Alice, who put it over the sideline as Belleville was in a 1-2 situation against for Bayside. And Natasha Belleville will take the ball on the sideline in front of the grandstand we were broadcasting from today. Female Football Week. It's part of Mother's Day. And we're 10 minutes in, no score as yet to both teams. Meeting for the second time this year, back in round two. Big win for Box Hill, 6-1. And their best performance this year was beating Heidelberg, who were third 1-0. But then they lost to Geelong Galaxy last week. 3-1, indicating how even the competition is. Certainly the best performance for Bayside was against Alamein. A 1-1 result a month ago. They actually led, and it was in the last minute of injury time as a player is coming off who is in some trouble for Bayside. And she's pointing to her ankle, which isn't good news. Savannah Anastopoulos. And Belleville has it turned over. That was a poor throw. And here's a chance for Markowski down the left-hand side from a pass from Hubbard. She's just outside the area. A couple of opponents around her. Loops it now. A chance arriving as Lyons. But good defence to come across on goal side to ensure she couldn't get a decent pass is Shearing. But there's going to be a corner kick, I think. As Shearing was the last one to touch it. And that was a dangerous move. Again, a poor pass by Belleville, allowing the turnover to occur for Box Hill as Anastopoulos does some work on the sidelines to test that ankle, which he injured early. Kaku will take the second corner kick, this time from the far side for Box Hill up to the edge of the 10-yard box. It's headed away. Good play by Fogarty, turned over just outside the area by Lyons, but she has it knocked away. Kaka's there again. She loses control of it. Richards sprinting down that left-hand side for Bayside. She's at halfway now, Lucy Richards, an impressive player. But the pass goes through and doesn't find anyone at all. It'll be cleaned up at the back by Box Hill. And taking it is Lantieri. Mia Lantieri goes down the right-hand side. She nearly has it turned over by Richards inside the attacking half of Bayside. Ends up now with the clever Rabin. Rabin goes back on halfway. unsure what to do, and a hesitant kick as Markowski gets in the road and stops shearing. He didn't know what she was doing then, had no one to give it to, as Hubbard tried to pass to the middle of the pitch, and shearing in the end decides will go back and load up and take it to Farija, who brings it out to Fogarty on the left-hand side. And now Richards, who kicks into bodies, and it'll end up in the coach's dugout for Bayside. Against Vatke, to be taken by Richards of Bayside. Back to Rabin, back to Wow, but coming the other way, Markowski, almost a collision course at halfway. Long kick by Runnels. Out to the right-hand side, Rabin. Back to Belleville, approaching inside the attacking half. All the defenders get back for Box Hill. Al goes high, but camped right inside the middle of the 10-yard box and taking it easily. She backtracked a little bit, was Mason Jones for Box Hill, and a good attempt by Jessica Rao, but she was coming from a long way back outside the penalty area, but she gave it everything, but it was straight and comfortably gobbled up at the back by the goalkeeper, Mason Jones for Box Hill. Ball in dispute at halfway. Markowski's tall, but I think she might have given away a free kick as she was starting to burst her way through that midfield. Free kick to Bayside. 0-0. Richards receives on the left-hand side. Markowski approaches her. Goes back to Fogarty now. Fogarty will switch, looking for Rabin. Didn't have enough on it. Intercepted for Box Hill by Gertz, who's been good so far. Gertz now down the right-hand side. That was a nothing kick. Absolutely nothing on the end of that for the Hayley Gertz pass. And it will be a Bayside ball here at Wembley Park. Nearly 15 minutes in the opening half. Female Football Week. Round 12 of the Women's National Premier League. Sixth on the table, facing seventh. Just into the second round of matches between the 10 teams in the comp. Vatke with the throw back into play. Kaka. And now Alice. Inside the attacking half. Searching run. Oh, may have been some handball there. There was some handball as it bobbled up from Hubbard into the hands unintentionally of Rabin. And it's going to be a spot kick, a free kick. Kaka and Lyons, the two imports, having a conversation for Box Hill. She's a very good player, Safri Lyons. She's going to take it. And it's long and high. And aimless right over the crossbar. No harm done as far as Bayside are concerned. 0-0 as we approach 16 minutes in the first half. Very proud and successful club in this competition, Box Hill. Won the title and the women's PL 9 times, including 4 in a row, 2003 to 2006. The first year the Nike Cup came in, they won that, as well as the championship and the premiership in 2012. The triple header. Good play by Al. She lost it, regained it, and goes down the left-hand side. Harvis has it now. She scored 5 times for Bayside. Rabin, the top of the area, got it back to Runnels, who wasn't expecting it, and then had 3 opponents around her and lost it and slipped over. The idea was correct by Rabin, but Runnels wasn't awake to it, as that pass was a bit wayward by Lyons, but running onto it, making it better than it was, is Vatke inside the attacking half now for Box Hill, but turned over at the back by Fogarty and Runnels. And now a high ball. Shearing allowed it to bounce, lost control of it. But at the back, Belleville starting today and tried to get it to Rabin. And it almost goes up the race. That pass was astray from Bayside, and it will be a Box Hill ball. And Hayley Gertz has been good so far, will take it for Box Hill United inside their attacking half. 17 minutes played, still 0-0. Both teams with good defensive structures early days. Throw down the line by Gertz to Hubbard, and coming across their path and putting over the sideline, the Bayside defender Belleville. Gertz again, a bit closer to the penalty area. Lines under pressure. And she was the last one to have possession, even though Shearing was all over her like a cheap suit, and Lions are saying, well, ref, I reckon I didn't touch it last. But the ref's having nothing to do with that. Headed down by Gertz from the Belleville throw. Nice defensive play at the back by Zoe Austin, one of the young members of the Bayside team, who was the player of the year in the under-19s at Bulleen last year, then swapped to Bayside this year. We know Bulleen, very strong team with a lot of youngsters, and she's got a regular spot in defence in this Bayside team. Down the left-hand side, go Box Hill again. Gertz. Arriving is Lyons, who was pushed forward. It was a late call given by the ref. And that's Jamie Barriero. Chat to her before the match, how much she loves the refereeing, and she came out with her mum. She's given her great support. Nice free kick inside the penalty area from Gertz. Number of Bayside players try and head it down. Comes out to Au. Jessica Au down the right-hand side. Went for a through ball. Oh, it's missed on that occasion by Ellis. Taken by Rabin. She's clever. She cuts inside. She shoots, but couldn't get enough on it. A couple of opponents right in her face, and well stopped inside the 10-yard box by the goalkeeper for Box Hill, Bethany Mason-Jones. But a great effort again by Rabin, who hasn't scored a goal for a while, but has scored 11 for the season. There were two, I called a game about 5 weeks ago against South Melbourne, which were magnificent, which kept the team in it in a narrow 3-2 loss to South Melbourne, whose form since then has been a bit shaky. Turned over at halfway again, just inside the defensive area by Box Hill. Again, just can't get there past the sticking Bayside. The through ball's a ripper. Staying on side is Vatke. Vatke's inside the penalty area. She's a chance now inside the 10-yard box. It's defended stoutly by Bayside. Austin at the back helped her goalkeeper Faruga out brilliantly on that occasion. And now they've got possession, still inside the defensive half. Runnels got it back now to Austin. And now they'll look to try and build. Runnels, who's a big figure, almost at halfway, looking to drive, brings it out to Au, had too much on it, turnover, meeting it brilliantly, Gertz has been good, lovely little ball from Hubbard to Gertz, she stayed on side, she'll be met by Belleville, she'll look to cut it back towards Hubbard, back to Gertz, but she was offside as she took that ball just outside the penalty area on the left-hand side. Both teams trying to go on the counter-attack. On a couple of occasions, that's what Box Hill have done. They look a bit more threatening at the moment. That pass wasn't great by Bayside. It's turned over with a couple of feet involved for Box Hill, and it ricochets. And the pass comes down the left-hand side from Box Hill, but goes over the byline from Grace Norbury, who was in a Australian schoolgirls tournament last year in LA, which Australia won, and her teammate this year, Maya Markowski, went to one in Dallas, which Australia won, and in 6 matches she scored on 7 occasions. Again, it looks like they may have lost control of the ball, Bayside, but only momentarily at halfway as it's over the sideline against Box Hill. And Belleville, whose throw-ins left a little bit to be desired inside the first 20 minutes. Runnels, oh gee, there may have been a collision with a couple of players banging heads as they both tried to head it away. Runnels may have come off second best. She recovers now as Kaka wins the ball at ground level for Box Hill inside the defensive half, and they look to build again through Darkick. Long ball, racing onto it. Down the right-hand side is Vatke, just outside the penalty area in the 10-yard box again. Austin is there, as Faruga said, it's yours, Zoe, and she does well to bring it down the left-hand side as her teammate is brought down as she was trying to get her team going. Emily Harbis inside the defensive half. An opponent came across her bows, and it will be a free kick inside the defensive half for Bayside. 0-0. Almost at halfway in the first half, as 6th takes on 8th in the Women's Premier League in this round 12 match. Trying to get a header on it, Runnels. Rabin's there again, but Terrific goalkeeping by Mason Jones as she just came in front of it, dived and kicks it long towards halfway, headed down by Austin. Shearing does well to knock it down towards Fogarty. Again, the attempted scissor kick from the back by Shearing. Runnels has been all right, but she turns it over here at halfway as Richards arrives. And down the right-hand side, Box Hill have possession. Tall figure of Markovski has to go back to the running orange-booted Vatke. Vatke looking for Hubbard, doesn't get to her. Had it headed away by the strong and big defence of Bayside. Some big numbers at the back. Taken by Ellis, has it turned over by Jessica Au. Au running down the right-hand side. Ellis confronts her. Au now gets it to Rabin. That's a beautiful pass. Inside the penalty area. She's bumped off it close to the line. Did she keep it alive? That was good defence by Box Hill. And Rabin comes off worse for wear. She was the last to touch it. That was very, very good defence by the opposite captain, Lyons. Also supported by another blondie. They've got plenty of those in this Box Hill team, Olivia Ellis. As Box Hill are down the right-hand side, but the big figure of Fogarty manages to turn over against Hubbard. It's a good battle so far. Nice pass, Harbiz, but there's no one there at the back to run onto that, to try and set something up inside the penalty area and be dangerous for Bayside. So Box Hill settle it down. And a long ball as Faruga comes outside the attacking area dangerously. A couple of opponents were lurking as Belleville turns it over again, but gets another opportunity as Lyons couldn't control it at halfway. Au does well. Pickpockets her opponent, Gertz. Little pass is very, very good. Trying to get boot on that for the Bayside team was Bacalo. She wasn't able to, as they've made an early sub because of the injury to Anastopoulos, it appears. And then a long ball goes down the left-hand side. Faruga tidies it up again with Austin. And now with Shearing. And Richards. Again, that pass is no good. But also trying to defend at the back for Box Hill. And not able to cleanly was Lantieri. And unfortunately, Rabin, who looks dangerous every time she gets near it inside the attacking half for Bayside, she wasn't able to get the ideal control that she was warranting as well. And it's out over the sideline. Deep in defence for Box Hill, as Markovski can't control it either. Some of the throws from both teams have been a bit errant in the first 25 minutes at Wembley Park here at Box Hill. Throw back into play. Nice little back heel. Brilliant by Lyons. Now to Kaka. Back to Lyons. That was clever by the two imports for Box Hill. Lyons will pop it up to Shearing. Can she get it past Faruga? She can't. Faruga stuck her boot out. And that may have been accidental reaction, but it worked. And then she's able to stave off a possible move with three of the most creative players for Box Hill involved in that move. So no harm done in the end as the score is still 0-0. Good pass by Au to Rabin, as we said, controls the ball nicely. To Bacalo, back to Rabin at halfway. Looking to slow it down. Now to Zoe Austin. But that pass couldn't find a trailing Harvis, who was also labouring as Lyons tried to go after it with the pass down the line for Box Hill. But Faruga comes off the line. They set it up through Richards, Bayside at halfway. Now to Runnels. Runnels has it turned over. Good play by Box Hill's Norbury, but she loses control. Both teams battling to string passes together. Now at the back goes Ellis. Again stopped by Richards at halfway. Through ball, attempted through ball by Lyons, but backtracking is Faruga, and she'll pass towards the sideline. And Belleville, clever little ball under the pump with two opponents surrounded by Shearing, and then a through ball came from Bacalo, but ours left trailing as a big defender is in the road, but hustled and bustled her, did Jessica Au. David and Goliath battle in, giving away a lot of height and strength to Natasha Darkic, and they win their first penalty corner. Well done, Jessica Au, the tenacious doctor who's represented Monash University at the University Games. Spent time at Calder spent time at Southern as well in this competition. Nice ballooning ball approaching the big figure of Runnels. Couldn't get a decent head on it. Spills to the far side. Still in play. Richards comes in for Bayside. Couldn't get a decent pass. Taken by Lines. Charging down the right-hand side is Vartke. Coming at it now is Markovski. Two opponents around her. Markovski now under pressure. Inside the area. Has to change direction. But they've got too many defenders getting back inside the penalty area. The team in orange, Bayside. It was a promising move by Box Hill. As again they try and get Bayside on the counter-attack. They're probably slightly quicker. As Austin looks to tear out a defence and really has nothing on offer. Has to slide it wide to Richards on the left-hand side, almost at halfway. As we're in the 29th minute, it's 0-0. And it's over the sideline. Another pass. It doesn't find the target. So Box Hill in possession in their defensive half at the scoreboard end. And the throw in by Vatke. Richards intercepts. Rabin, clever again. Little pass to Bacalo. Rabin again. Couple to beat. Gets around one, gets around two. But good defence right at the top of the 10-yard box by the Box Hill defenders. And it's going to be a corner just as Jessica Au was coming and she thrust her boot at it, but the defenders were there to put it over the byline. Just a little pass, not going for the big corner kick from Rabin to Shearing. Rabin now boots it long towards the area and also the 10-yard box, but it's cleared by eager Box Hill defenders under a bit of pressure at the moment. Runnels tries to beat her opponent. She can't. Now a chance for Markovski at halfway. Gets the pass out wide. Good play, Vatke. Through ball now to Markovski, who stays on side, but coming across her bows. The reliable Austin, and Austin in a bit of a panic because she was under the pump, had to concede the ball over the sideline for Bayside and does. Turned over by Belleville for Bayside. Back to Au, but awake to it with a pass towards the top of the area by Lines. But again, the defence good by Bayside. Spills to Au, who controls it beautifully. Just flicked it away from the emerging Kaka. And now Bucalo. Runnels has got a player on her own down the left-hand side, Harvest, but she couldn't control it. Bit fierce the pass. Now a turnover on the counter-attack Box Hill. Vatke's very quick. Down the right-hand side, looks for a through ball. Hubbard might be able to control it. She does. Back to Kaka. Kaka now to Lines. Markovski for Box Hill. Lines again on the edge of the area. Defenders there. Loops it. Looking for Vatke. Richards heads it down, but straight towards Kaka, whose left foot pass didn't have enough on it, and sort of controlling the right-hand side, and easily saving it was Faruga. As again, it's Bayside's turn to counter-attack from Habis and Runnels and Rabin, who loops it up, and there's a late free kick given as a player, Runnels, goes down. May have been a studs-up incident there. She's writhing in pain a bit. Only 5 metres outside the penalty area. Originally from Alamein. There's always a lot of moving in this competition. I said earlier that Safri Lyons, coming from England, spent time in America at her 4th club. The captain of Box Hill, player of the year last year for them. So Rabin, as I say, around about 5 metres outside the penalty area on the left-hand side with a small wall in front of her. Chance to take this spot kick for her team. She loops it up. Oh, it just hits the edge of the area and also the left-hand goal post. It was a beautiful shot and it beat the goalkeeper, Bethany Mason-Jones. It looped and cleared the defenders on the edge of the area and the 10-yard box. It hit the left-hand goal post and eventually goes out for a corner kick. It was a beautiful kick by Rabin. And it beat Mason-Jones. Loops it up to the 10-yard box. That corner kick that Runnels on that occasion only just got a little header on that and it rolls away and over the sideline. Well, Mason Jones was beaten then, even though she tried to control that left-hand side. And it hit the goalpost. It was a beautiful free kick taken by Rabin. High ball by Fogarty, controlled by Rabin again. Gee, she's looking dangerous today. Flicks it out now to Richards, loops it up to the edge of the area. Dark kick gets it away. Turned over against Gertz. Back to Rabin. Always dangerous. Trying to kick through traffic was Harvest. Turned over once again by Box Hill. Are under the pump at the moment. Now Hubbard's on her own with 3 opponents around her. She remains onside. She might turn this into something special for Box Hill, but no one there as her pass is chopped off by Belleville right on the edge of the penalty area. Getting numbers back. Well, Bayside. 0-0, and they had the first really legitimate chance through a free kick, a spot kick from Rabin, which hit the left-hand goal post in the 32nd minute. Now, Jessica Hours hung on to then in that contest in front of our commentary position, just inside the attacking half for Bayside. So free kick to be taken by Fogarty. Little pass at halfway to Howe. Howe turns her opponent inside out. She's fleet-footed. So really nothing Lyons could do, knowing that her teammate had been well beaten then in Gertz. So she just puts it over the sideline and allows Belleville to throw it in again inside the attacking half of Bayside. Having the better of it at the moment, it's 0-0 with the first legitimate chance. Headed down by Lyons. Over the sideline by Gertz. Once again in possession. It all must be line ball, I reckon, possession for both teams now. As we're in the 35th minute. Belleville. Al. And once again, another turnover and over the sideline, and Bayside get a chance to load up once more. Goes back. Oh, that was poor. Belleville gave it back towards Austin, who put it over the sideline and they turned it over. Gee, what was she doing, Zoe Austin? Just a lack of concentration. She knows she made a mistake as Hubbard kicks around the corner, headed down by Fogarty. Now won by Markowski. He's good on the ball despite being tall. Back down to Lyons. Lyons down the left-hand side. Coming after her now is Austin. Comes across her path. Good defence by Zoe Austin. Talented young player. Coming from Bulleen this year for Bayside, and her defence very good, although it's still inside the attacking half, a throw-in to Box Hill. Looping ball, headed away though nicely by the Bayside defence from the Gertz looping ball, and then Richards kicks into bodies. Vatke comes after it, wanted to have another crack, but diving in front of her path inside the penalty area to save it desperately was Faruga. And now arriving on the ball is Harvest. Pass down the left-hand side. And it'll go over the sideline. And Vatke will bring it back into play in the defensive half for Box Hill, who are almost down 1-0 with that lovely free kick, or beat the wall and beat all the defenders in the penalty area in the 10-yard box and hit the left-hand goal post. Also had beaten the goalkeeper for mine, Bethany Mason-Jones. That spot kick taken in the 33rd minute by the captain of Bayside, has got the ball now in Margot Rabin. Now she switches to Shearing. Shearing approaches and goes waywardly with a long shot, well off balance. Needed a curl around the body and had two defenders staring her firmly in the face. So good contest. In Bayside, it can be a bit inconsistent with that loss last week. Only the second win of the year to senior NTC, the development team in this competition, where a lot of these players have come from both teams. Down the right-hand side, Hubbard receives from Darkick, who gets it back from Vatke, and then has nothing on offer with a lot of orange shirts. Goes back to Mason-Jones. And then it's nearly turned over once again against Lantieri. But it was off Bayside last. So Lantieri wins it back from Vatke. Kept alive to Kaka. Now at midfield, Norbury. Lantieri down the right-hand side inside the attacking half now for Box Hill. In front of the coaches' dugouts. Richards does well to get it towards Ducarlo, but she was shoved off the ball, Ducarlo. And again, defenders at the back are there to mop it up for Box Hill. And Hubbard, defensive half. Markowski was ready to go. But in the road, Fogarty for Bayside, and then a turnover to Hubbard again. That's a beautiful ball to Markowski. Down the right-hand side, two opponents putting pressure. She has to try and turn them inside out. At the top of the area again. Wants to pass to a teammate who goes long and high, but misses to the left-hand side. It was set up for, on that occasion, Norbury, but gee, she was a long way out, about 20 metres away from the penalty area. It would have been a magnificent goal if she got there, but she might have struck it okay, but missed by a fair way, so a goal kick for Bayside in the 39th minute. Headed down by Runnels, almost turned over at halfway by Bayside, and then Jessica Howe pounces and puts it over the sideline. Must admire these people, work full-time, study full-time, like Jessica Howe as she looks to become a doctor. Prodigious young talent as a 16-year-old picked up by Melbourne Victory. On the ball now is Lyons, but she had so many opponents around her. Howe wins it now. Right-hand side to Rabin. On the edge of the area, Rabin curls it back, but she had the right-hand side easily covered, did the goalkeeper Jones, and she's there to take it comfortably inside the 10-yard box as she heads down the right-hand side, but again headed away by Richards of Bayside, but straight to Kaka of Box Hill United, issuing instructions to Lyons, to Hubbard. Three very good players. Oh, she turns it over. She tried to get it back to Kaka. Bad mistake, inexplicable mistake by Hubbard. Rabin got it now to Runnels. Back to Rabin, trying to attack her as Jones. Rabin kept control of it inside the area. Two opponents putting pressure. Loops it up right across the goal face. Lucy Richards charges at it again. She couldn't control it. It goes across the face and then headed over the sideline by the eager defence of Box Hill. But they're under the pump a bit at the moment as Bayside are venturing regularly inside their attacking half. Olivia Ellis put it over the sideline. In the 41st minute, Rabin got close in the 33rd minute with that spot kick, which hit the left-hand goal post and had beaten the goalkeeper and the defenders in front of her as a high ball comes in from Belleville and again easily marked by Jones, the goalkeeper, and she'll start again. That was a fantastic free kick. Took the pace off it, but had enough height in it and had enough pace to beat Jones, if you understand what I'm saying. Just unfortunately for Bayside and Rabin, she couldn't score a 12th goal of the season to give her team a well-deserved lead because the goalpost was in the road. Now, they're inside their attacking half, Box Hill. Markowski's been pretty good, little pass out wide. It's still at the top of the area. Fogarty, with that big body, managed to keep her opponents off it. And then it's put over the sideline by Box Hill. Richards to take it. We're in the 41st minute. And again a turnover against Bayside in the defensive half. Back to Faruga. Out to Belleville. Missed by Shearing, but luckily Kaka, the opposite number 7, couldn't control it. Numbers at the back, Austin. Belleville again. And Faruga will boot long for Bayside to halfway. In the road, nice little volley kick by Gertz. Wanders into the defensive half. And they've got the numbers there, Box Hill. That's a lovely little clever pass. Just trying to knock it on and keep it moving by Kaka as it landed at her feet inside the attacking half. The Lions just wasn't able to get enough on it as an opponent managed to concede it. Over the sideline, back to Lions again, looping ball inside the penalty area. Offside against Box Hill. And it'll be taken in the penalty area by Bayside again. who looked a bit more composed at the back, and I think in general, Bayside have been a bit more dangerous. Vatke, she's given them some good run down the right-hand side, though, for Box Hill United, the home team. Her pass is okay, but Richards thrust the boot in there but couldn't control it. Markovski does. Vatke runs, but offside as she just hit the penalty area was Emily Hubbard, scorer of 10 goals this year for Box Hill, and taken by Bayside to the halfway. Shearing and Richards. There's been a lot of those through balls by both teams that have sort of been in no man's land. That was another example. Finds the sideline once again. Rabin, very good. Beat about 3 opponents. Gee, she's great on the ball, Margot Rabin. She gets tangled up with Lines. They were both going for the ball. I think it was accidental contact. But the ref has decided it'll be a free kick. The spot kick specialist. And we know she didn't miss by too much on that left-hand side. A couple of minutes ago, Margot Rabin, but I don't think she's taking it this time. And looking at Bethany Mason-Jones, the goalkeeper, she's covering that left-hand side. And I think Jessica Au is going to take it. And they've got a stronger wall this time, Box Hill. When Margot Rabin just missed hitting the left-hand goalpost, they had 3 in front of it. This time it's 5. Now, that was a nothing attempt. She sort of wedged it up, and all it did was end up on the right-hand side. And for a goal kick, opportunity missed, wasted by Bayside. Approaching half-time, still 0-0. Best chances come from Bayside. Down the right-hand side, there's a good through ball to Vatke, and it came from the boot of Lantieri. Vatke has a couple of opponents. She pushes, trying to find a way through, but getting back. Good defence by Harvis, working well both ways. Good two-way running. Normally plays up front. She scored 5 goals this year. And again inside the attacking half, Box Hill with Kaka. Kaka looping. Hubbard's the player they want. It's not taken cleanly by Faruga, but luckily there were defenders to tidy up, but only as far as Ellis, who attacks it. Kaka again goes high, and it had plenty on it. The elevation was there, but well played by Faruga to get a hand on it and tip it over the crossbar. It'll be a corner kick for Box Hill United close to half-time at Wembley Park. That was well outside the penalty area, and the Japanese import gave it everything. And on that occasion, she was camped right on the edge of the goals in the 10-yard box for Uga, and she had to go back and got a hand on it. And on this occasion, another attempted shot by Box Hill hits the side net, as the corner kick was just a pass instead of being a legitimate corner kick to a dangerous area in either the penalty area or the top of the box. So into injury time now. It's 0-0. But there was just 1 minute of extra time, and it's half-time at Wembley Park. Both teams have had one legitimate chance. In the 34th minute, a free kick to Margot Rabin, and she beat the wall in front of her and also beat the defender Jones. Unluckily for Bayside and luckily for Box Hill, it hit the left-hand goalpost at the scoreboard end. And then in the 45th minute, a long ball well outside the penalty area from Kaka, the Japanese import of Box Hill United, the home team here at Wembley Park. And she had a long shot, which was on target, forced Fariga to go back right on the goal line and jump up and tap it over the crossbar. So good save there. So it's 0-0 at half-time. The 6th place Box Hill United with 5 wins and 6 losses up against the 8th place Bayside, 3 wins, 7 losses and a draw. This, of course, being Female Football Week in the Victorian Women's Premier League Round 12 action. Back with more shortly from Wembley Park. Welcome back to Wembley Park, Box Hill. Close contest at half-time after a huge week for the World Game. Two of the best games of football you're ever likely to see in the Champions League, where the two English teams came from nowhere, Liverpool and Tottenham, to book spots in the final. And then we saw an outstanding semi-final in the A-League on Friday night. And it was a brilliant game, which was decided by penalties after a 2-2 at the end of full time between Adelaide and Perth. And then both teams scored in extra time, and both goalkeepers were heroic before Liam Reddy made one more save and got Perth into their first grand final in a long time in the A-League, looking for their first championship, having of course won the Premier's Plate. But this match is a good contest too. Just one really legitimate chance for both teams between Box Hill and their opponents Bayside. Bayside had one in the 34th minute as they bring it down the right-hand side, Bayside. Gobbled up by Bethany Mason-Jones. Yes, Margot Rabin got a free kick and she curled it and looped it over the wall. And it was actually beautifully taken as she has the ball here in midfield, inside the attacking half. Tried to get it to Jessica Au at the top of the area, back to Margot Rabin. Opponents around her, shoots and scores! Magnificent play by Margot Rabin. We can forget about the missed penalty as Bethany Mason-Jones came out to her. There were a number of opponents around Margot Rabin, but she had it well inside the area and she managed to comfortably curl it past the goalkeeper as all the defenders and Bethany Mason-Jones were flat-footed. That's a great finish by Margot Rabin, her 12th goal of the season. And, well, you can forget about the missed opportunity when it hit the left-hand goalpost. That set shot in the 34th minute. She's managed to score in the opening minute of the second half. And now Box Hill are chasing the game at 1-1. Kaka had a long shot the 45th minute, well outside the penalty area. And it just went over the goalkeeper. Lauren Farija had to step up as she was backtracking on the edge of the goal and got a hand on it and knocked it over the crossbar. It was a lovely strike by Kaka, but that was a beautiful strike inside the penalty area by Rabin. And she's a clever player. Hasn't scored for over a month, but she knows how to score clever goals. The team need a win. They weren't great last week, but they've been okay today. That was a great pass again to Habiz, but the defenders are back once more for Box Hill, playing with urgency. Kicking into bodies inside the penalty area, though, as Jessica Au, who's often played out of her weight division and been outnumbered today, tried to beat three, but eventually taken by Vatke down the right-hand side. Markowski's onside, on her own with three opponents trailing her in. Comes inside the penalty area for Box Hill. Tried to pass it up, but couldn't get it past an opponent. Hubbard's just inside the 10-yard box. She can't get boot to ball. Goes back now to Vatke. Putting pressure on her is Runnels, and Runnels pinches it off with a big body. Does well to charge down the left-hand side. Inside now the attacking half, and she's brought down. She's brought down by an opponent who came at her. And Runnels is a big body, and Kaka's the one that comes off second best. And it will be a free kick to Bayside with all the running at the moment. 1-0, scoring in the first minute of the second half through their inspirational skipper, the French import, Margot Rabin. So Fogarty will take it just inside the attacking half. And she'll loop it up to the penalty area. Headed down again by Shearing. Controlled by Vatke. Trying to keep it alive was Box Hill and also Bayside. Shearing coming the other way. Puts it over the sideline. Lantieri was also involved. It's inside the attacking half now for Box Hill. Vatke takes it. Kaka. Vatke was nearly over the sideline then, I thought, receiving that ball from Lantieri. Turnover. Here's a chance in the attacking half for Runnels, who's been very good. Hours a bit flat-footed. Turned over in the defensive half. Good play by Gertz to get it to Kaka. Kaka's through ball. Fogarty's there, though. And she makes sure that she protects her goalkeeper, Faruga, who puts her left boot over the sideline. She was on goal side then, Sienna Fogarty. As Kaka goes down, she's claiming she was started high. Turnover at midfield for Bayside. Habis combining with Bukala, who came on very early for an injured Anastopoulos. And now here's Rabin. She tries to control it again. She can't, but gets plenty of support. Habis again. Back to Austin. And Austin's kick had too much on it. The attempted header, I think she pulled out in the end, realising it was going to be their ball anyway, Vatke. And they're under the pump, defending stoutly. At the Social Club Rooms end here of Wembley Park. And again, they're behind 1-0, as it would be 2 defeats to teams below them, Box Hill, if they were to lose today, and put them right behind the 8 ball in their quest to be in the finals. Not at the halfway mark of the comp yet, still 15 games to go after this, but they would have expected to beat Geelong Galaxy last week. Maybe the excuse was that they had that Nike Cup match during the week, but other teams had it too. And they had a great win 2-0 against Alamein, but they weren't the favourites, with their 17-year-old goalkeeper, Gabriella Egerton. And again, Runnels does well with a big body to beat Kaka. Down to Richards. Good pass near the top of the area. Bukalo back to Richards, who worked her way through. Richards shoots, but off balance and balloons it well past the goals. But again, good attacking by Bayside, who are making all the running here, leading 1-0 as we approach the 52nd minute at Wembley Park. Remembering they took the lead against Alamein at Alamein a few weeks ago and had it until the 95th minute of extra time. Although now the Bayside officials thought that there was, when I say extra time, the 5th minute of injury time. They thought there might have been another couple of minutes of injury time added on to the 5 minutes. It seemed like a very long 5 minutes at the time. Kaka kicks into bodies inside the attacking half for Box Hill, and Runnels, who has run her heart out, controls the ball well with that big frame, gets it down now towards Habis. Pass had too much on it for Richards. And again, well, running over the ball was Mason Jones, and it was popped in the net by Richards, but it had already been stopped the play by the ref. So no harm done in the end for Box Hill. So it's still 1-0. And again, they're having to go wide. They cannot go through the middle of the park because they're set up so well here, Bayside. Defensively, there are orange shirts everywhere right in the middle of the pitch, forcing Box Hill to go wide, and they're turning it over a lot. Inside the attacking half for them, Richards couldn't control it, but at the back is Austin. Couldn't get it to Runnels. Coming the other way now, Box Hill need to build. Vatke receives from Norbury and goes long. But all it does is burn along the grass and be cleaned up at the back by Faruga. Almost turned over by Box Hill, but again with numbers. Richards does well. Habis, a good battle down the left-hand side against her opponent in Lantieri. They had a good battle all day, and it's going to be a Box Hill ball. Right in front of our commentary position in the grandstand, as Box Hill looking to clear again from their defensive half. Natasha Darkic into the body of Lucy Richards. Well, I'm not showing a lot of urgency here. Still plenty of time left. What are we, 9 minutes into the second half, and they're down 1-0 Box Hill. Lines at the back, Fogarty. Bayside have not had a clean sheet all year. Here's their chance today. Losing control of it, Fogarty. Combining brilliantly. Little backheel pass, Runnels has been great today. Habis looking to get it to Rabin. Rabin's claiming handball as it was chopped off by Box Hill's Lantieri. And then offside as they got in possession inside their attacking half was Lines, as she was loitering down the right-hand side with intent, just on the edge of the area. So it'll be Bayside's ball. And getting it at the back, Fogarty, Austin, Belleville, Bucalo, turned over halfway. Box Hill's turn now. Down the left-hand side, again, that pass doesn't find the target of Markovski, but Hubbard made it better than it was. Markovski goes back to Lyons. Down the right-hand side, Vatke inside the area, it's dangerous. Here's a chance, Markovski scores! Gets it past the diving Faruga, who tried to look after the far post, the left-hand post, but that was an excellent pass. Great build-up by Box Hill. Markovski scores her 4th goal of the season, and we're locked again at 1-1. And once again, they can't keep the clean sheet, Bayside. But that was the best move of the day by Box Hill and results in their first goal. Markovski made good space on the left-hand side, just at the top of the box, and put it away past a diving opponent in Faruga, who dived in vain, couldn't get near it. Well built up by Box Hill. 1-1 now. Lines. Turnover. Habis out. Over the sideline. Orange ball. Bayside. So after both teams missed a gilt-edged chance each in the first half, and the one from Rabin hit the left-hand goal post, and then a nice save by Faruga right on half-time from a long ball from Kaka. They both scored in the early stages of this half. Rabin in the first minute of the second half and Markovski in the 10th minute. As Bayside drive long and not very handsome, well over the byline at the Social Club Rooms end here at Wembley Park. That ball's gone into the parklands. Maybe never to be seen again, or might be picked up as a souvenir by a youngster on Female Football Week, round 12 of the Premier League, back into play. Looking to build here, Box Hill. That's a lovely ball out to Vatke. He's been clever today. Down the right-hand side, a pass intended for Hubbard. She couldn't get there in times. Richards could, with support from Fogarty, and then Vatke battled hard in that one-on-one contest. She touched it last. It is a Bayside ball. Richards to take it. Inside the defensive half. Down the left-hand side. Vatke. Header. Kaka. But it's turned over again. Runnels. Long ball, Rabin. But had too much on it. And it's vacuumed up at the back by the goalkeeper, Mason Jones. Back in the team today. Clearing it, Box Hill at halfway. Hubbard couldn't control it. Gertz allows her teammate through with a nice through ball. Looking for Lyons. Trailing in Fogarty. Fogarty may have to go back. Lyons is with her. Keeping her honest. Forcing Fogarty to put it over the sideline. Good defence inside the attacking half by the captain of Box Hill, Safri Lyons. So we're in the 69th minute. It's 1-1. They've had one draw already this year, Bayside. Box Hill without one. Lyons receives the throw in from Gertz and kicks way off balance. And the destination in the end is the byline. No, it's not. It was off Orange bodies, so it's going to be a corner kick, which is handy for Box Hill. So it slewed off some bodies. She gives a little pass now to Vatke. Vatke towards the top of the area, shooting but missing by a long, long way. Was Gertz. No harm done as far as Bayside were concerned. Brilliant play, though, before down the right-hand side by Box Hill. Sliced through what's been a pretty strong defence today, put in place by Bayside, considering they conceded 5 goals against the second-bottom team, with a lot of youngsters in their team. In senior NTC last week, they had to try and improve their defence, and they have today, but they've still conceded a goal. Habits inside the attacking half, out to Wow on the right-hand side. Can she keep it alive? She's under pressure. She has Ellis there for company, and Au was the last one to touch it for Bayside. And taken by Olivia Ellis. Dark kick. Back to Alice. Kicks into Howe once more. So a few players in this Box Hill team and also Bayside team have had experience at W League level. We mentioned Howe. Alice is another. The goalkeeper, Mason Jones, has been at victory for Box Hill. As again, defenders at the back will mop up. Long ball from Alice. But Belleville's there, playing solidly. She goes back now to Faruga. They look to set up. Alston. Bucalo coming the other way and turning it over. Norbury for Box Hill. Kakar arrives. Kicks into bodies. Another turnover. Well done, Belleville. Took it on. Head on. Down to Al. Long ball, Rabin. Rabin stays on side. 3 opponents around her. This is when she's most dangerous. And a left foot shot was a good one. But diving away, protecting the far post, the right-hand post, and stopping it. Probably not enough pace on that shot, unlike the one earlier in the half, which resulted in a goal from Rabin, but well stopped by Mason Jones, the goalkeeper for Box Hill. It's still 1-1 in the 71st minute. 61st minute, I should say. Learn your maths, Daniel. Dan Lonigan here for the Football Federation Victoria for Female Football Week. Round 12 of competition. In the Women's Premier League, a turnover again inside the attacking half for Runnels. Pretty hard to get around. She's been brilliant. Down to Rabin. Down to Richards. Richards just outside the attacking area. Beats a couple of opponents, but in the end, good defence by Box Hill. They're on the turnover, but offside is Markowski as she received that through ball from Vatke, who's done a power of running on the right-hand side today for Box Hill. She had sliced through a couple of opponents there with that pass. It was pinpoint, but unfortunately Markowski just offside. Well picked up. So we take a breath. 1-1. Goals in the 46th and 55th minutes. 46th for Bayside. 55th through Markowski for Box Hill. Robin scoring in the 46th minute. A battle on the far side. And there's going to be a free kick. Which way is it going? A bit of pushing and shoving. It'll be taken by Bayside. Inside their attacking half on the right-hand side. In overcast conditions now at Box Hill. Right in the heart of the eastern suburban part of Melbourne. Box Hill football ground just down the road. Long ball to the edge of the area. It's headed away by eager Box Hill defenders, but only as far as Shearing. Shearing goes out wide. Can't control it out. Taken at the back by Hubbard, who's been well held today. Has scored 10 goals for Box Hill. And coming back in defence to try and get involved, and she does. Again back in attack, and it is put over the sideline by the defenders of Box Hill. Deep into attack. Thrown back inside the attacking area. Kaka gets a little head on it. Our controls inside the area, but no one to give it to. Taken from her by an opponent, Alice of Box Hill. Clever little pass, Markowski. Through ball. Came from Hubbard, but chopped off at halfway by Richards of Bayside. Her pass was no good. Turnover, but again at the back, Fogarty saves the day for Bayside. Goes to the back. Can't control it. The Box Hill defence. Rabin kicks into bodies and whipped off her by Lantieri, who couldn't control it originally. Takes it on down the right-hand side to Vatke. She couldn't get control of it either. And over the sideline off the boot of Fogarty, who defends well again, as she has all day for Bayside. Kaka wins the ball in midfield. Clever Japanese player. Long high ball. Attempted header. Sarah Walsh, who's come on as a sub. First one for Bayside today. And she couldn't quite take that header, but Faruga mops up at the back. Long high ball inside the attacking half for Bayside and headed away over the sideline by Darkic. of Box Hill. A lot of young players in this team. Norbury, Darkick, Markowski, the goal scorer. Back into play. Missed at the back. And then Runnels does well. Shoots, but right across the goal face. Now it'll be taken just inside the line by Harbiss. Lost it, regained it. Now she shoots. And then it is taken cleanly inside the 10-yard box. Right in the heart of the 10-yard box by Mason Jones. Good effort, though, by Harbiss as she beat a couple of opponents in getting control of that ball on the left-hand side. She was virtually kneeling, praying that the ball wouldn't have too much on it, and it didn't from Harbiss, but a good effort by one of the key attackers for Bayside, who scored 5 goals this year. We're in the 66th minute. It's 1-1. Box Hill United and Bayside United. Round 12 of this competition. Approaching the halfway mark. 27 games to be played. It's a long season. Headed down by Box Hill to halfway. Footed back by Fogarty. Walsh controlling at the back. Down the right-hand side now. Here's a chance for Bayside. I thought the player was pushed down and it's turned over by Box Hill. The ref let that go. I thought that was a legitimate free kick. And now it's on the turnover. Markowski was clever. Down the left-hand side comes Darkick, playing in defence. Now she swings it to the top of the area. Richards couldn't really control the defensive kick. And in the end, it spills away. And luckily, it was read best by Faruga. But yeah, that was unlucky for Bayside, that a free kick was not given for, I thought, a legitimate shove. High ball right on halfway and missed. Kadashi, another sub has come on. Started a career at Box Hill, who was a player that was pushed before. Down the right-hand side, here's Rabin. She's onside, inside the area. As I said, dangerous in this position. Cuts inside, gets it to Harbiss. Can she beat the goalkeeper? She can't. Hits the crossbar. Attempted header by Rabin and then stopped right inside the 10-yard box, the goalkeeper's box, by Mason Jones. Had a couple of chances again, Bayside, but once again the woodwork was their worst enemy. She's been wonderful, Rabin. She's great to watch. When she cuts inside, she's dangerous and can beat 2 opponents as Walsh turns it over at midfield for Bayside again. Here's Rabin, lobs it over the top, but nice little header by Caitlin Storey has come on as a sub for Box Hill, one of their defenders. Long high ball again, which sails right across the face by Sarah Walsh. A sub for the Bayside team, injected in this second half. So, scrambling at the back by Box Hill. As the shot hit the crossbar after, we said earlier, the set shot in the first half, the set piece, hit the left-hand goal post as Bethany Mason-Jones was beaten by Rabin, but Rabin did score early in this half. Turnover as Gertz was too slow, pouncing on Emily Harbiss, right to the top of the 10-yard box, sits for Rabin, out of position as Mason-Jones. Now she gets back, taken away by Darkick. She's saying that Rabin is saying that Darkick might have touched that. The ref lets it go. Might have touched her with a hand. One not forthcoming. She's been quiet lines. She had 2 opponents around and was overwhelmed, and in the end, it goes back by Fogarty, allowing Fariga to set up again to Richards. Richards inboard to Al. That's a turnover. Arriving is Storey. Storey gets it down in the direction of her teammate in Gertz. And it is going to be a goal kick in the 70th minute. Faruga has had an easier time of it, although she did concede in the 10th minute of this half with a lovely pass and camped on her own on the left-hand side. Inside the 10-yard box was Markowski, and she converted. It's 1-1. Could have been 2-1. A couple of chances just missed before by Bayside. Now here's a chance. Vatke to the top of the 10-yard box. Cleared away by Belleville and then shooting, but not getting enough on it was Gertz as it sort of sat for her tantalisingly inside the penalty area, and she wasn't able to control it correctly or properly. And luckily for Bayside, hearts in mouths, they don't concede another goal. It remains at 1-1. Tight contest here. So we take a deep breath, and Faruga in bounds again, approaching the far side. Headed away by Bucalo. Down to Kadashi, controlling it nicely against her former teammates. Back to Walsh, who's passed down the right-hand side as a stray. Possession now with Box Hill and Alice. Bobbles up and down at halfway. Ellis gets in again. Richards nearly runs into a teammate. And now a chance for Vatke to Hubbard. Kicks into bodies. Luckily Walsh came across to clean up that mess. A lack of talking by Bayside. Back to Storey again. But kicks into Fogarty. Camped at the top of the penalty area. Slips down to Belleville, who decides I'm going to be calm and go back to the goalkeeper Faruja. But turned over inside the attacking half by Gertz at Box Hill. Down to Kaka. Back to Gertz. But her pass. If she was looking for Vatke, she missed her by a country mile. Very inaccurate pass. Taken by Richards, defending at the scoreboard end with the score at 1-1. Misses the intended target, Habis. Back to Gertz. Back to Storey. Kaka. Vatke. Kaka again, Vatke. Tried to go back to Kaka, but she wasn't there with the backheel pass. Good defensive play by Richards, and Richards wins the day. Well played, Lucy Richards. She's tough and hard. Good contest with Vatke, who tried to be a bit too clever then and looks at Kaka and says, where were you? Where was the communication? There wasn't any. Goes back to Fogarty. Richards at Bayside. Arriving Vatke trying to make up for her mistake before. Storey comes in. Clever play, Hubbard. Down to Vatke on the right-hand side. But again, defenders at the back. They close it down through Walsh. Helped out by Al. Now Rabin heads it over the top, but there's too many blue shirts at the back. Been very solid today, Alice. Down the left-hand side now for Box Hill. Through ball to Hubbard. One of the many blondies in this team, but she kicks into bodies. It's over the sideline. And they get a chance to regroup. Box Hill. Taken by Alice inside the attacking half, looking for Hubbard. Probably not the right option. Two opponents hanging off her over the sideline. Once again, though, it will be Box Hill getting closer to the penalty area. Kick looped in, but cleared by Bayside, but only as far as lines and needs to do more. But she's always been double teamed today. Cleared by Shearing. Makes a nice clearance over the sideline at halfway. In the 74th minute at 1-1. Back into play by Box Hill. Good defence by Bayside. Again though, Box Hill chop it off. Lines, goes wide. They've had to go very wide as we said earlier. Markowski down to Hubbard. Kaka arrives first on the edge of the area. Now she loops it. Vatke, but well done, well taken by Faruga. She and Vatke were looking at each other about, well, a centimetre apart from each other in the 10-yard box, and Faruga was good enough to take that cleanly and save the day. But they've turned it over in the attacking half, Bayside, for Box Hill, and Lyons goes down. Lucy Richards comes over to help her, saying, are you okay, Safri? As the ref says, we'll stop play here. I don't think Lucy Richards meant it. She comes over and gives a consoling hand to Lyons, the skipper of Box Hill. There will be a delay added on to injury time in this titanic struggle in round 12 of the Victorian Premier League. Female Football Week is part of a huge celebration for the Cove of those two unbelievable matches in the Champions League, which we may never see the likes of again. As Margot Rabin has done the right thing with the Bayside players and it's got them all together in the middle of the pitch. They look a bit more bedraggled, Box Hill, because their captain is down and in some pain. No doubt she's in some pain. She doesn't look good at all. There might be another substitution made through injury, remembering that they had to make a very early one, Bayside, with the ankle injury suffered by Anastopoulos in the first 10 minutes. Yeah, she's in pain. And she's very distressed too, is Lyons. And yes, they're saying a move has to be made here. So a substitution being called for. And the players were down the other end of the pitch as well. They're told to get ready now, so they're down a player at the moment, but only momentarily. So there'll be a substitution. So both teams have had an injury substitution. Bayside in the first half, Anastopoulos off, Bucalo on, plus a couple of other regular substitutions, and now Lyons taken off. So as they still have 10 against 11 as they wait for the sub to come on. Turnover by Hubbard. Here's Vatke. She's onside. Faruga out to meet her. Vatke gets past her. And then Faruga may have nearly taken the legs from underneath her as it's put over the byline. She touched it last, Vatke. It was a good contest. She got onto her feet pretty quickly, though. Doing the leapfrog. There will be some extra time through injury added with Sanfrey Lyons taken off. Hopefully her injury is not too serious. The captain of Box Hill United. Headed down by Storey, trying to keep it inside the attacking half of Box Hill. But again cleared at the back by Belleville. Down the right-hand side, had too much on it. Over the sideline. And it looks like Neve McClure will come on. Spend some time playing for Southern United, for Box Hill. Another one of the youngsters in this team. Got a couple of Neves as well. There's a Neve Griffin, who's a sub for Box Hill as well. Lovely name, being Irish myself, but you look at the name and you think, well, how could it be Neve? Niamh, but it is. And two playing in the same sporting team. It's at halfway for Bayside, but Shearing left it behind. But they win it back again. They've been so tenacious today. When they've made an error, Bayside, they've been so determined. The inconsistency of their performance, though, would concern the coaching staff. Paul last week letting in 5 goals against a young second-bottom team who've conceded a lot of goals this year in senior NTC. 5-3 they got beaten. Yet today, against a more credentialed opponent, mind you, they were coming off a loss to one of the bottom 4 sides in Geelong Galaxy 3-1. They've been really good defensively today, so they've learnt their lesson from last week. Walsh, hemmed in a bit by opposite number 5, Hubbard, the Bayside player, headed down though by Kakar, who got in the road. Loose ball, now here's Rabin again. Every time she's got near it, it's an artist at work. As she goes down, pushed down, I think that might have been a professional foul too, as Box Hill want to get their numbers back. Against McClure, down to Howe on the right-hand side, through ball, taken by Kadashi, the top of the area, cuts inside, has a lot of blue shirts around her, goes wide, but put it too wide, over the sideline. Opportunity goes begging again for Bayside. In the 79th minute, it's 1-1. But a couple of other chances for Bayside in this half. Shot hit the crossbar, and then the ricochet was just stopped on the line by Bethany Mason-Jones, as both combining for shots were Habis and Rabin, who was the scorer of the goal in the 46th minute for Bayside. But it was equalised in the 55th with a lovely ball, which switched to the left-hand side and not able to stop Markowski from knocking it away was Faruga. And really against the tide too, as Kaka was offside as she received that ball just inside the penalty area on the left-hand side. Well picked up again. Starting to get quite dark. Lights are on here at Wembley Park, Box Hill South. Box Hill with a lot of home games to come, told by officials that they resow the grass in April, even though the season starts in late February. And they play a lot of away games, so they get a chance to play a few more at home now. Long ball from Walsh. Headed away, though, by Darkick of Box Hill. Down to Kaka. In the road, chesting it down is Fogarty. Fogarty controls it despite having the harassment of Kaka right with her. Now she passes towards Bucalo. Bucalo goes out wide to the charging Richards. Richards now towards Harbis on the edge of the penalty area. Oh, she turns it over with a poor pass. Couldn't control though, Storey. Wasn't expecting it for Box Hill. And Bucalo wins it. Back heel by Al. But again, the defence of Box Hill equal to the occasion. Through ball by Kaka. But no one is there for the Box Hill team to take advantage. Trailing Richards in, who got it back to Faruga, was Markowski. And now they're inside the attacking half. Rabin receiving again. Lovely ball. Switching to Harbis on her own. Harbis will shoot, but shoots straight into the body of Gertz. Might get it back. Opposed to Kaka. Almost at halfway. They lost some ground then, Bayside, but didn't panic. Walsh on halfway now for Bayside. Goes long and high, but harmless with the shot. Way over the byline. 1-1 in the 81st minute. Round 12 in Female Football Week. Pass by Mason Jones. Taken by Vatke. And Vatke's through ball's good. Kaka's got some work to do. Richards in pursuit. Both quick, and Richards got there quicker. I thought Kaka had it covered, but Lucy Richards, the speed machine, got there first and put it over the sideline. They win possession again, though, Box Hill inside their attacking half. Here's Vatke, beats Richards, and she shoots, but straight into the breadbasket, comfortably taken by Faruja, who brings it out to the right-hand side to Belleville. Belleville, half-distance pass. Bucalo, and now Belleville. Kadashi, one of the subs. Now again, under pressure, being harassed by McClure, who put it over the sideline for Box Hill. No, actually, according to the ref, the last team to have it was Bayside. And now Hubbard gets an opportunity here. And there's going to be a free kick as she shoved. And a yellow card is given. I think that's the first one of the day. Front on charge against Sarah Walsh of Bayside. And Kaka will take it. As that throw came to Hubbard, who hasn't had a huge influence. We know how dangerous she can be. Her best effort's 4 goals against Southern United. And she's produced a goal in 7 of the games so far. Has 10 goals for the season. Well behind the 2 leaders, Zimmerman of Calder going into this round, and Garcia of Heidelberg. So a big wall being set up by both teams inside the penalty area. Kaka, plenty of distance on that curling free kick, but well taken comfortably. On the left-hand side by Faruja, as Al receives on the right-hand side. Too long for Rabin. Stopped at the back by Alice, but they've got numbers there at Bayside, but only momentarily. And Box Hill get their numbers back and force an error over the sideline and win possession again through Alice. Inside the defensive half, right on halfway, Markowski's there. Taken by Shearing of Bayside. Numbers overwhelm Markowski. Turnover though, poor play by Bayside. Austin, she has to go back and make up for her mistake, and does. 2 hour again with speed. Back now to Fogarty. Fogarty, looping ball which may have come off bodies, it did, forcing a turnover. Darkick, through ball, offside though. Offside was Vatke. She was ready to go. She had Hubbard lending her support as Richards was wedged in between both of them in that exchange inside the attacking half for Box Hill at the scoreboard end. Here's Walsh down the right-hand side. Happy to concede over the sideline, Ellis. So they can set up again Box Hill in their defensive half. This is where the ball is. On the right-hand side. Little pass out wide. Here's Kadashi on the edge of the area. Kadashi loops it across the face. Still dangerous for the defence of Box Hill. Habis goes back now to Richards. Has two opponents trying to stop her. She'll try and shoot. She shoots into bodies. Rabin does well, but there's a player offside inside the penalty area for Bayside as the ball was looping around dangerously for the Box Hill defenders and the goalkeeper. Beth Mason-Jones back in today after injury. She gives a little pass as it gets increasingly dark. Taken by Box Hill's Lantieri down the left-hand side. Here's Hubbard running onto a through ball. She's onside. Pass to the top of the area but couldn't get there quick enough, Vatke. So turnover by Bayside again. Shearing was shoved out of the contest by Storey, who's a big body for Box Hill. Now Richards wins it for Bayside. Important moment. Shearing overruns as she tried to receive a pass. Now Shearing goes wide. Kadashi is very, very quick. Can she keep it in? She controls it nicely. She's got an opponent there for company, and that opponent happens to be Darkick, who manages to pickpocket Kadashi very close to the byline and brings it down the left-hand side for Box Hill, but there's no one there to run onto that. Walsh there for Bayside. Her pass is successful enough inside the attacking half, but again, they can't string them together. The players are very tired. Turnover by Box Hill, and they bring it down the right-hand side, but the ballooning ball from Gertz is chopped off by Fogarty, but only as far as Hubbard. Her pass intercepted by Walsh of Bayside. Still 1-1. Shearing had it taken away by Markowski down the left-hand side. Here's a chance for a shot at goal, but unable to get enough on it. It was a good attempt, and she did well then, Vatke, but good defence at the back by Bayside. They turn it over, have it at mid-pitch, but there's no one on the end of that pass. Kadashi not quick enough for Rabin's ball, and Ellis was goal side anyway to protect her goalkeeper, Mason-Jones, who cleans it up inside the penalty area. Still 1-1. Down the right-hand side from Gertz, but footed away by Faruja. Gertz will keep it alive. Supported by Lantieri. In front of our commentary position now, Bayside win possession. Through Habis and Bucalo. And Habis again, who's been pretty creative, but she just kicks it straight to the opposition. Camp back at centre back. And Olivia Ellis down the left-hand side. Vatke's changed sides again, but her pass had too much on it too. And Sarah Walsh gets back for Bayside, saves the day by flicking it over the sideline. We're in the 89th minute, still 1-1. Bayside could be headed for their second draw of the season. They've already had one against Alamein, which might affect Alamein's top four chances later in the season, although still a lot of football to be played in this competition, not even at the halfway mark. 15 games to go after this. And over the sideline again. So in possession, Box Hill inside their attacking half. Markowski, the goal scorer in the 55th minute, has it run down. Loose ball. Good play, Ellis. Bayside again, defending stoutly off Box Hill's bodies, and Bayside in possession. Great for them to get a point, another point away, as they got a point away against Alamein in a match that they probably should have won. I reckon that goal scored by Alamein was well after the extra 5 minutes of injury time. Anyway, that's history. This is the present. Good through ball, and staying onside, Hubbard from Gertz. Hubbard to do battle with Faruja. Can she beat her? No, she can't. Magnificent defence by Bayside to ensure that she could not get her boot to ball. Hubbard. It was going to be a battle between her and Faruja as she approached the 10-yard box. Great defence by Bayside to put it over the byline, and that's what I call a vital moment in this match, which might ensure that Bayside hangs on to a draw here. Lucy Richards, who's been brilliant today, was the player who saved the day then. Decided to take on Hubbard, who had a chance to score her 11th goal. As that was a beautiful corner and headed in, as there was a player marked on her own for Box Hill in Hubbard, but luckily she played it straight down to Faruga. Here's an opportunity now for Kadashi, who's taken front on as she ran through the middle of the pitch. They've done that a lot today, Bayside. And there's a yellow card given against her opponent of Box Hill. And that is Lantieri, who approached her front on, tripped her up. And a free kick 10 metres outside the penalty area. Yes, a good header by Hubbard, but well stopped by Mason Jones on the left-hand side for Box Hill. He's had a lot of work to do today. It's been a good contest, this. I should say well stopped by Faruja. Mason Jones has a chance to try and stop this one for Box Hill. Rabin, plenty on it, too much on it. Well over the crossbar. She was about 10 metres outside from the penalty area. We're now into extra time here. They're saying 2 minutes on the field and it's 1-1. So both teams have had some chances and they've scored once in this second half. Rabin in the 46th minute and in the 55th minute it was equalled by Box Hill's Markowski for her 4th goal of the season, as Richards had trouble controlling that outlet ball. And Box Hill in possession. Yes, it was well saved by Faruga, controlling the left-hand goalpost. That header from the corner kick from Hubbard, who almost was involved in a battle with Faruga before Richards came across her path and put it over the byline, which resulted in that corner kick. Some of the defensive plays by Bayside today have been excellent. And it's over the sideline. Taken again by Markowski. Turns it over. Now Kaka gets it back to Gertz. Markowski inside the area. Centering ball. Oh, almost. Just goes across the face. Couldn't control the shot at the top of the 10-yard box. Box Hill's Hubbard. And that's the end of it. The last throw of the dice could have resulted in a 2-1 win to Box Hill, as that was a very clever ball, but she was travelling full pace, Hubbard, and she couldn't quite control it. And it sailed dangerously across the face of goal on the edge of the 10-yard box. And that was the last play of the day. And we've got a 1-1 draw at Wembley Park, the home of Box Hill United. And well done by Bayside after a disappointing effort last week, losing 5-3. They've found a way against a higher-ranked team to get a 1-1 result. And maybe, looking at it, should have been a win to them, as there were a couple of other shots at goal, particularly in a passage of play after the scores were locked at 1-1 in this second half, involving Emily Harbiz and also Margot Rabin, where the ball hit the crossbar, ricocheted back into play, and having to scramble hard inside the 10-yard box was the goalkeeper Mason Jones of Box Hill. Remembering, of course, she was beaten from a lovely set piece in the first half by Margot Rabin with a free kick, and it hit the left-hand goal post. And then right on half-time, a lovely long ball by Kaka was just stopped by Faruga, the goalkeeper of Bayside, who got a hand on it, knocked it over the crossbar. And then goals in the 46th minute at the start of the second half by Margot Rabin. Some of her play inside the penalty area was superb, taking on opponents and finishing her 12th goal of the season. And then an excellent finish with a lovely cross from the right-hand side, when for one of the few times all day Box Hill were able to get away from the strong Bayside defence, who were a little bit disorganised, and camped on the left-hand side, putting it in the 10-yard box, where it wasn't stopped or wasn't protected by Faruga for one of the few times all day was Markowski to make it 1-1. And they managed to hang on then, Box Hill, even though I thought Bayside was the better team. They did have a couple of late chances, Box Hill, but not able to take their opportunity. So 1-1 here. Box Hill are now 5 wins, 6 losses and a draw. They've got 16 points, while the second draw of the season for Bayside, and both against teams higher than them on the table in Alamein and also Box Hill, but they did lose to one of the bottom teams badly last week, 5-3, Senior NTC, but a good result today. Their defence was outstanding, and they've now won 3, lost 7 and drawn 2, and they're on 11 points. And just a terrific game of football for Female Football Week in the Premier League of the Victorian Football Federation. Happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. Enjoy the rest of your Mother's Day, and thanks very much for your company.